Part 3, my early life. You know, I've thought long and hard about my life. What I could have done, which was precious little. When you're a child in the 80s, you're largely forgotten. So, growing up in the 80s, the first cell phones they had, or car phones, and cable TV, which was all the rage. We had one of those shitty little black and white TVs. I would spend hours watching it, getting lost in the stories of the shows I was watching. So, some parts of my life then were okay. Not ideal, but tolerable. And, you know, if you were ever a child in the 80s and a young adult in the 90s, that period of time was kind of hectic. See, the woman's oldest daughter rented a house behind her boyfriend's place because he owned a house there. I barely knew the woman's oldest daughter. The only thing I knew about her was that she liked to slap the hell out of me for basically just being me. You know? She didn't care. She didn't want to care. So, that period of time, her youngest daughter would spend days with her best friend at her house, which just happened to be in the same neighborhood of where the woman had her home, where I was stuck. When you do enough introspection, you think internally. Self-reflection can be revealing, cruel, surprising, but all the same. I basically, I guess you could say, I was in a fugue state. Because for a while there, he stopped, well, let me back up a little. He stopped trying to rape me because I beat the hell out of him. I used cast iron skillets on him, and I beat him because he would not stop, and I told him to stop. He would always say, "Come here, I'll give you money if you do this." And I told him to stop. He didn't stop. So, my only other choice was to beat the shit out of him. And I did. And he always lied to the woman, saying he had fallen or something had happened or he had been jumped, although he never went anywhere. Am I proud of the fact that I beat the shit out of him? No. I am not proud of that fact. I'm proud of the fact that for a while there he left me alone. He didn't open his door. He didn't try to get me to come in or coax me in with money or whatever. It actually stopped for a while. And that was after the woman called me back to live with her, and I didn't want to. That part of my life was particularly dark. I mean, I had some good days. I joined 4-H through a local church and got to do stuff that way and got away from her. I don't know if they were aware, but I joined 4-H and a church so that I could have something to do that didn't include her fucking daughters. Her youngest daughter was always needing somebody to defend her or look out for her or be there. I'm thinking, what the motherfucking hell? Seriously? She would always say, I need you to watch out for Maggie. I'm like, why? She's old enough. Because people were picking on her. And given the fact that I was as combative as I was, I still am a little. I get combative. I can get real goddamn combative. To be honest, I don't really remember that much of my life. Because when I was 15, she made me move with her family and the bastard to Iowa. So, we moved here. And on my sweet 16th birthday, I had the flu. Did she do anything for me? No. Nothing. That was her pattern. She didn't want me around. But she kept me around. I don't know why. I would have been better off in an orphanage than with her. But I didn't dare say anything like that. So, we moved here, and she was in subsidized housing, or Section 8, or whatever. Low income. And I think it was because, I don't know if she got a job or what she was doing, but I think he got Social Security disability at the time. So his money went towards rent and other shit. That's why. He was a source of money. Things didn't improve when we moved here. Not for me, anyway. But things weren't bad. I made friends at school. Although, to be honest, I don't remember the name of the school. Or the town we were stuck living in. I do recall her, however, being berated by two or three of her sisters and brothers. Her own mother noticed that I was shy. I wouldn't. I get. You know, if you're battered, a battered person exhibits emotions like aggressiveness or anger, distrust, fear. And I think her mother recognized that. So I went back to live with her mother until I went to Denison Job Corps because she wouldn't allow me to finish my education. I can't remember exactly what it is she was doing, other than every time I went to school, it always seemed like I never wanted to go home. Did I get in trouble? No. Did I cause trouble? No. Did I fight? Occasionally. But it was mostly after school and against kids who decided they were going to make my life hell, and my life was already hell. So I found myself in fights for a little while, and then that kind of went away. And art, something I've always loved. That was an outlet for me. That was a way for me to forget about my life. So, whenever they had productions or they need somebody to help with organizing a painting or drawing something or whatever, I was there. I didn't care if it was until 9 or 10 o'clock at night, so long as I did not have to go back to that bitch's house. I was good. And he still tried. So I made myself scarce. Really, really super scarce. So, my friends that I've made, I would spend every weekend with her if she asked me to, which she did because she was an only child. And no, she had a brother, a much older brother. Um, Kimberly and I became really fast friends. And every time I was at her parents' house, I was treated so goddamn good. I felt like I could, this kind of life, the pain would subside, wouldn't be as horrible. But again, the woman showed just how much she hated me. And I have come to understand that parts of my life that are particularly horrible, my brain has blocked off. So I literally cannot talk about it. But we moved from the town where we were, Bloomfield, I think, to Ottumwa. And I went to school there, and I walked the 3 miles to school. I got a job, and I was never there. I delivered the shopper 273 papers every Tuesday and Friday, and I walked. I walked the whole thing, which was just shy of 5 miles every day and night. 5 miles. And one memory, one thing that has stuck with me. I had high tops, tennis shoes. I bought with my own money. Pissed her off, but I didn't care. Well, winters in Iowa tend to be really brutal with a lot of snow. And on a Friday night, when I was delivering the papers, my feet were getting wet. I mean, like sopping wet and cold. So I come back to her house and ask if I can sit down and find a different pair of shoes so I can finish delivering the paper. And I told her I needed to buy snow boots. She didn't care. She would never take me shopping. If I wanted anything, I had to walk uptown to get it myself. And I did. I did a lot of walking. You'd never know it with the fact that walking for me anymore is extremely difficult. But I know she didn't care. She didn't care if I had clothes or food or bed. While her daughters all got regular beds, I slept on a pull-out on a couch. A pull-out bed. Which wasn't comfortable. Because the bars on those beds, not only were the beds really heavy, but if the mattress wasn't sufficiently thick, you feel it. So I didn't get a whole lot of sleep. So I wouldn't bother pulling it out. I'd sleep on the couch, as a couch. Or try to. So one year, after school got out, her second daughter wanted to go to Denison, but she couldn't go by herself because she was a ginormous pussy. She couldn't be by herself. She couldn't do anything by herself. She was beyond pathetic. So, whereas she was able to graduate high school, her oldest, I don't know where she was, I was made to go with her to Denison because she couldn't go by herself. And that is a story for another day. End part 3.